back to a brand new video. So this time video got a bit late. I actually finished this comic a few weeks ago actually, but I was traveling somewhere, so I was really busy. Anyhow, this is not the comic we are reviewing. Yes, this is one of them which I will be reviewing really soon. And I'm gonna shoot this video back to back, like my that whole Hush and Watchmen video type. But we have to review something else this time, because this one I just finished yesterday while I was traveling. So today we are gonna review Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow compact edition. So I was really excited to read this. This was a part of my February haul, and it was a good comic. So this is basically a science fiction and adventure comic written by Tom King and art is by Willikers Everly. And this is the front cover, and it also have some variant covers which I will be showing right now. You can buy those editions. This one, like for example, which wasn't my favorite by the way, and this one was just better, so I just ordered this one. So this is the side spine of this. This is a pretty thin compact compared to my everyone. I mean every compact I own. So this is I believe 216 pages only, which is equivalent to my Kingdom Come one, but still it's nice. So this is the back side. This retails for 10 USD dollars, or you can say 13.50 Canadian. And this is a really good comic by the way. I really like this. And I read this after the Supergirl movie. I even made a review on that. You can check that out. So basically I won't be spoiling much, but the story is about Kara just solving some stuff. There is this child girl named Ruthie, and her father dies. So then there is this guy named Graham of Yellow Hills, and he just attacks Supergirl's dog Crypto as well, which later starts the journey. And we see the dynamic between her and Ruthie, and some Supergirl stuff. There are some drawbacks in the comics which I'll be discussing later, but right now let's just review the art and everything. So first of all, I really like the this chapter wise stuff, how they have told this. I really like this cover as well. And the Ruthie, her narration in the comic is a bit poetic, which is good for the people who like poetic. But as a person who doesn't like poets that much, I just it wasn't my type exactly. But the art is great. Really like it. Sometimes it gets bad, especially the last chapter. I believe it was a bit weird for me, but overall it's just a beautiful comic. The art is really colorful compared to movie. The movie had literally the tone of just this colors, right? Let me just show this. This was the entire tone of the movie, color scheme. And they just forgot how colorful the comic was. This was exactly the stuff which there wasn't even seen like this. This is so colorful already. There are some stuff which I like from the movie as well, especially how the movie focused more on Supergirl rather than Ruthie. In this comic it's a bit equally, but I think they focus more on Ruthie in the comic, which isn't my favorite thing to be honest. But I won't lie. And I want spoilers ahead. I will be talking all spoilers now. It's all spoilers now. My reviews are like this. So this scene was sort of in the movie. Here Supergirl and the ship is attacked by a space dragon, but in the movie it was some pirates, space pirates, which just what the hell is going on in the movie, to be honest. But it was nice. Anyhow, we just see how Supergirl developed, how Ruthie is developed, which is also really nice to see. There are some few favorite moments from the comic, especially not this one. That was similar. This one was really good for me. This was really overfarming for me, the way she was overfarming after being hit by the bullet. A symbol of hope, sort of. Yeah, but she's a messy girl, so she's like that. And this scene right here was really sad though. Ruthie asking her, like, do you even know what happens when someone dies? And what, who you were even when the Krypton died? So she just says, I was a girl. And that's sad. She's just broken, literally. Anyhow, this look of Ruthie I dislike to some extent. I think the previous one was better. The green kryptonite scenes here in the comic are better than the movie, and as I was talking, see this art? This is really weird. Sometimes it get weird, but it was good. And the Krypton scenes, the flashbacks, those were so much better in the movie, in my opinion. This one is my favorite from the book, and surprisingly, there wasn't even Comet, like this horse in the movie. Like you shouldn't have marketed your movie as a really deep adaptation of the Woman of Tomorrow comic. Like, yeah, I understood some references from the book, but it isn't a close adaptation. If you want a close adaptation, you can look at All Star Superman with Superman 2025, or you can go for a Batman Year One as the Batman, because those actually make sense even if we don't take all stars, but the birthright is actually also making sense. Even Superman for all seasons makes some sense. So, like, it's just weird how you marketed your movie as adaptation to this comic, and it wasn't even colorful at all. But I like the movie. I thought it was really good. But if I compare it to the comic, yeah, the movie is really bad. But this was also a good scene, and as we just proceed, we reach this chapter, and this where Ruthie is just narrating the stuff about Supergirl, and really like this sequence here, like Supergirl fighting, and her just questioning Graham, which is good. And then comes the finale of the comic, which this one is also my favorite art, by the way. It's really nice. Let me just show you all this one. But as we proceed, it's just Graham versus her, Ruthie. This art, it's nice, but I just think that the art fell off somewhere in the ending. It's not bad, but it's not necessarily good either. Anyhow, we had this really nice ending here. Supergirl has grown. I do not like her new outfit though. I think the skirt one was a bit better than this one. It's just not, and her hairstyle doesn't even is good. But yeah, we see Ruthie, and I like how the story ends the way it starts. Like the art, it's really poetic kind of thing. But overall, it was a good comic. So the stuff I don't like about the comic, I guess the narration of Ruthie was just not so good. I just dislike that a lot. And sometimes the art was bad, and I think that we could have seen Superman in it. I mean, like it would have been good. That was one of the things I like in the Supergirl movie as well. But yeah, overall this comic was great. I would give it like an 8.75 out of 10, because it had some problems, but overall it's a must read comic. Like what can I say, this is a good comic, you need to read this. And yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments, and maybe support me by subscribing. Like we have recently crossed 100 views on our Batman Arkham Asylum video, as well as the Batman Black Mirror video. So it's just nice to see that. But yeah, that's pretty much all. Make sure to take care of yourself. Till then, take care and goodbye.